You've all seen those posts on social media, right? Where people are making all kinds of outlandish claims like, I built this workflow that's going to replace consulting firms altogether. Or I built this AI agent that means I don't need any employees anymore. As wild as those claims sound, it's actually kind of possible with automation and AI. And that's exactly what we're here to talk about. This is going to be a whole series on how to create and use automated workflows, use AI in those workflows. The tool that we're going to use is called N8N. I love N8N mainly because it's so flexible. You can install it on your machine and run it for free, but we're not going to talk about that right now because it's a little bit of an advanced thing. You can use it on the cloud. You have a 14-day free trial to test things out, and then later on you can move to the cloud version. And I'll make a video about how to install it on your machine locally later as well. So what the frick is automation and AI? Do I just go into ChatGPT and type, I want you to send this email to a customer on this date? Or do you give it instructions and then it automatically carries out those tasks? Not really. We use a tool. And that tool's name is, like I mentioned before, N8N. You connect applications on that tool to create automated workflows, hence the term workflows, because the automation starts at this point when an event happens and then it passes data over to another app, and then that data is passed on to another app and then to another app. Think of it like how you would normally carry out your day-to-day tasks. You see an email, then you go into your CRM, you update the information for the new customer in the CRM, then you navigate to Slack, and then you send a message to your director of sales, and then you send an email to a customer with a templated response. This whole process, although it might not take, you might think that it doesn't take too much time, but it actually does. It eats into your hours on a weekly, monthly basis. And honestly, we're human. That whole process can be done in seconds, the instant the first trigger event happens. But we will only carry out that whole process once we see it, once we're available, once we're in front of our machine. So really, automated workflows saves everyone a bunch of time. Now, the workflow that I've described right now doesn't really have any AI inside it, but it does take it up a notch. When you put in artificial intelligence steps like LLMs into these workflows, you can send bespoke emails to each customer. You can understand exactly what they requested for. For example, when you receive the request on a form, let's say, on your website, and in that form, in the notes section, they said that, hey, I really want you to understand that I have this need. Now, before the sales manager reaches out, they already have that context, yes. But what if the first email that is sent to the customer is, hey, we noticed that you mentioned this and this. We offer this and this. Does it XYZ? Now, normally, you can send these emails manually. There's nothing stopping you from doing that. But that email only gets sent when the sales rep sees the note, reaches out by email first, and then starts scheduling a call with the new customer. This whole thing can take hours, days, sometimes, because the sales manager needs to first see that email. They need to understand the whole context. They need to gather information, and then they need to reach out to the customer. Between the point of the customer actually submitting the form and them receiving the first email, a day might have passed. 2 days might have passed. It's too long. The customer probably has forgotten about you. But if it's automated, the moment they submit that form, 2 minutes later, bam, they get an email with a bespoke response that is tailored to their question, to their query. It is contextually relevant to them. Whew, that's what AI does in automated workflows. I think that's pretty much it for this video. Let's talk about setting up our first workflow in the next one. I've uploaded that already. Go check it out. If you want to follow along this whole series, drop a subscribe, and a like would really help. See you in the next one.